Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. So today we'll be talking about central bank digital currency, or for short, CBDCs. So couple of days back, we actually talked about digital currency system. So under the digital currency system, we have basically we have the cryptocurrencies. So cryptocurrency, as I told in that lecture, that cryptocurrency is basically money which is programmed or which is coined by private entities. That means any person with the programming skills and some small requirements, he or she can introduce her own um, cryptocurrency or own currency system. So cryptocurrency is essentially a private currency, and the currency system we have in our current world is fiat-based currency system, fiat currency system or paper-based monetary system. So under this paper-based system, there is a central authority, which is usually the central bank of any country, and they usually issue paper notes in the country. So in this case, actually, central money which is issued or coined by the central bank is more stable compared with cryptocurrencies. So lastly, during our couple of days ago, when I was discussing about the digital card system, I actually mentioned about this thing as well, that stability is the key term in this case, because cryptocurrency is not stable because it is not issued under a central authority. Any person can issue his or her cryptocurrency system. That means he or she will try to influence the value, to increase the value of his or her uh, mm, I mean coin or his or her money. But for the paper-based currency, we don't have such thing. For the paper-based currency, the value is relatively stable. Hmm. So the paper-based currency system is the current currency system that we have been using for many years. But due to because of COVID-19 and because of the greater pressure from the from the cryptocurrency system, many banks and many economics and as well as experts around the world, they are talking about having a new type of currency system. So this new type is actually is a modification of the our current currency system. So in the current under the current currency system we have a paper-based currency system. So they introduce, okay, to compete to compete in the market and to accommodate technology in the marketplace, we can introduce a digital version of our money. That means if you are in Malaysia, suppose in Malaysia we call the current currency system we have, the current currency notes we call it ringgit. So when we have the digital version of the ringgit, we will call it a digital ringgit or e-ringgit. So in this case, we can define this central bank digital currency system is a virtual currency system, or is a digitized currency system of the paper based, or it is just a digitized version of the paper based currency system. So let us dig into deeper of this thing. I'm sharing my screen for the purpose. So here we have the central bank digital currency system, or CBDCs. So in simple terms, a central bank digital currency or CBDCs would be a digital banknote. So in simple terms, we can actually call it as a digital banknote because it is just a digital version of our paper-based bank uh, paper-based currency system. So it could be used by individuals to pay businesses, shops, or other like retail CBDC, or between financial institutions to settle trades in financial markets. So that means there are different types of uses for the central bank digital currency, and it can be used for wider purposes like the normal paper-based monetary system. So central banks are basically around the world. They are exploring whether CBDCs or central bank digital currency system could help them to achieve their public good objectives, such as safeguarding public trust in money. So, as central banks around the world, they have some rules and they have some responsibilities for the people. So last we have talked about during our digital card system that they need to make a stability, or they need to ensure the stability of the money. And trust is also a good thing here, because for the cryptocurrency system, it is a programmable money. So anyone can introduce the money, and anyone can get entry into the money market, and he or she, after that, after getting some after making some profit, he or she can leave the market. But for the central bank monetary system, or current paper monetary system, there is no such rule. You need to ensure that there is trust for the system, and you need to maintain the price stability. And then a central bank digital currency system or CBDC is a form of virtual money issued and backed by central bank. So it is basically a money which is issued and backed by central bank, like our normal paper-based notes. Several factors are influencing central banks to develop their own currencies. So what is basically the current status of central bank digital currencies? For this, we need to look at the Atlantic Council CBDC tracker. So according to Atlantic Council CBDC tracker, they tracked about the progress of central bank digital currency system in 81 countries around the world. So according to them, they told that they are told that the global interest is being driven. The global interest or the interest about the central bank digital currency system is increasing around the world for many factors. But there are basically four main factors. These factors are: the use of cash is declining as more economics and consumers adopt electronic payment methods such as credit cards and payment gateways. So nowadays, actually, many people they are quite accustomed to using their cards for buying the things rather than using a paper-based note. So the banks, the central banks around the world, they think that maybe it is easier to have an decent version of our paper-based currency so that we can integrate more with the current financial fashion. Increased efficiencies in the wholesale as well as retail payment system means that cross-border payment can now be made faster and without reducing. So this is also one of the key things here. So under our current paper-based monetary system, we can make cross-border transactions or payment, but this cross-border transaction or payment it takes some time, and there are actually a lot of complications. So in this case, if we have a digital version of the paper-based currency system, then maybe it will be quite easy to perform the cross-border transaction or cross-border payment system. And developing economies benefit from the removal of low value coins from that system, which are costly and difficult to maintain. So there are many countries around the world. I mean, in which places they use a lot of coins. So basically, when you have a coin-based system, also besides the paper-based notes, there is a lot of money you need to be invested so that you can maintain this coin efficiently. But if you have a digital version of your paper-based currency system, then that means that you don't need to spend extra money on the maintenance for the coins. You can use the money for other purposes. If private e-money became more widely accepted than a central bank's currency, people receiving government funds would be at a disadvantage compared to those receiving private money. So this is all about the disadvantage that is being caused by the introduction or by the popularization of current cryptocurrency. Currently, many people think, especially people from the computer science background, they think that maybe cryptocurrency is the future. But these people they fail to understand the simple basic economics, which is this: that if the cryptocurrency becomes the currency of the future, that means many people they will have their own cryptocurrency system. And how we are going to ensure price stability in the market, and what happens to the trust of people? Cryptocurrency can never be able to ensure to these two main things. So in this case, actually, the governments as well as the central bank around the world they are considering to having their own currency system as digital currency system on central bank digital currency system. So this could also impact monetary policy and financial stability for countries. Then how we are going to design CBDCs or central bank digital currency. So for designing CBDCs or central bank digital currency, we need to look at some issues. So central banks looking to issue CBDCs or central bank digital currency, we need to consider who should be given access to the currency. That means in the under the current system, we can either use for interbank transactions or inter-financial transactions, or we can either use for retail purposes for the normal people, like the people like you and me, when we are doing our day-to-day transaction, we can use the central bank digital currencies. So for a central bank to act as a central counterparty or CCP, there must be interoperability between fiat currency and CBDC. So to understand that if you want to have an e-version or digitized version of your currency system, that means that you need to make interoperability between your fiat currency system and central bank digital currency system possible. A central bank digital currency system needs to be widely accepted and recognized as legal tender within that country. So currently, the paper-based currency system or fiat currency system we have, the money is equally acceptable all over the country as well as outside the country. In this case, if we introduce a CBDC or digital version of your fiat currency system, that needs also to be accepted as well as recognized as legal tender within a particular country, within that country or also abroad. And when issuing a CBDC, when you are going to issue a central bank digital currency, the central bank should guarantee at par convertibility between the fiat and the digital currencies. So when you are going to issue the digital currency system, do you need to make it to mean you need to put guarantee same as the fiat currency system that you will be taking responsibility for ensuring the value, the inherent value of the money. And then the degree of anonymity is also important and is also an important consideration in this case. The argument that has been made that the CBDC brings a degree of anonymity to electronic payment systems. So when you are going to use the central bank digital currency system for electronic payments, that means there is a kind of an anonymity in the CR. So such as it is afforded by cash. Full anonymity, however, is not acceptable feature of CBDC. So under the so one of the key feature here is that CBDC central bank currency system, since it is from the central bank, so it can be tracked and you cannot make it private or secret like the cryptocurrency system. For the cryptocurrency system, since this is a private money, there is actually no protocol to ensure and to look into it or to track it. So this is why many illegal activities can also be done by using the cryptocurrencies, but this is not possible under the regime of central bank digital currency system. And central banks must also decide whether a CBDC or central bank digital currency system should have interest-bearing characteristics. A holder of the CBDC should not be permitted by the central bank to provide lending facilities. So under the common system, actually, when you under the common more fiat or paper-based more monetary system, we can actually put our extra money into the bank, and we can earn some interest. So now the central banks around the world, they are also thinking whether we are going to implement or we're going to issue such power to the central bank digital currency system or not. That people, they can actually save their digital version of their fiat currency and they can earn some loan income or not, or interest income or not. So there are some actually examples of central bank digital currency system. So the first example in this one is basically the Bahamas. Bahamas is the first country actually in this world who have successfully implemented the central bank digital currency system. So the project name for the central bank digital currency system is Bahamas for Sand Dollar, and it started actually back in 2019. So in back in 2019, the Central Bank of the Bahamas launched the Sand Dollar project on the island of Exuma. After the successful pilot in Exuma, the digital currency fully launched across the country in October 2020. So the Sand Dollar is basically the first ever national central bank digital currency. The Sand Dollar, it is the first ever central bank digital currency in this world. And now the central bank in the Bahamas, they are working on achieving full interoperability between its various wallet providers, because there are different mobile wallet system nowadays, and they are talking with different wallet systems so that they can make interoperability between them possible. And the central bank is now also working on achieving full interoperability between these various wallet providers. Then we have the second example, which is from Saint Kitts and Nevis. For them, the name of the project is Dcash actually. So the digital currency system for them was actually Dcash, and Dcash was officially launched and available to the members of the public on March 31st, 2021. That means that's this year actually they have started. So after developing, they have actually developed a central bank digital currency back in 2019. So after this, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank or ECCB, they actually launched their own digital currency system Dcash in March 2018 in four of its eight member states. That means out of eight member states, they have introduced the central bank digital currencies or CBDC system into four countries or four states. With Dcash, the Eastern Caribbean has become the first currency union central bank to issue digital cash. The digital currency pilot is available for use by the public on their smartphone, and consumers and merchants can utilize the Dcash app or use it to participating financial institutions. Then we have the number three example, which is about the Nigeria. So the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, they are actually researching about digital version for the Nigerian dollar, and they call it e-naira. And they have been researching about it for more than 2 years, and it has been announced is this year July that it would begin a pilot project for the central bank digital currency in this year in October. This year October. So one of the primary motives behind issue a digital naira is to improve the foreign remittances, because foreign remittances actually it comes in the second position after forex revenue in Nigeria after oil. And other motivation includes financial inclusion and the availability and the opportunity to regulate the rise of private cryptocurrencies. Then another example we have is about Thailand. So Thailand, they are also considering a project for introducing CBDCs or Central Bank Digital Currency System. The name of the project is CBDC Bridge. So Thailand Central Bank, they have been moving forward with its 3 to 5 year target for launching a CBDC. And after a successful cross-border wholesale pilot with the Hong Kong, the central bank is now planning to launch a retail CBDC pilot project in the second quarter of 2022. Then we have another example, which is about China. So in China, actually, there is a project going on about central bank digital currency system, and they call it as EC and why. So in April 2020, actually, China became the world's first major economy to pilot a digital currency system. And the People's Bank of China is actually aiming for widespread domestic use of CN9 by ECNY by 2022, and is trying to make it possible for foreign athletes and visitors to use the digital yuan during the Beijing Winter Olympics in 2022. That means China is already working on its way to make a good mark into the central bank digital system or CBDCs. So here are actually two examples about the future of money. So about the future of money, this is from just 3 days ago. It was a news from September 2020 this year. So according to the news, actually, central banks in Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, and South Africa, these four countries, they are going to conduct a cross-border payment trial using different central bank digital currencies or CBDCs to assess if it allows transaction to be settled more cheaply and easily. So they are going to conduct a pilot test project or an experimentation by using the central bank digital currency system, and they are going to see whether the cross-border transactions are being performed by using such platform system or not in a very easy way. Then this is about from Nikkei Asia, and this is the BIS director, which is the Bank of International Settlement. Actually, the director for international settlement, Bayonet Korur, Koirur. So Bayonet Koirue, he has said that central banks need to shepherd digital currencies. So 50 years after the holistic decision to suspend the dollar's compatibility to gold and unitarily changing the global monetary system, digital currency has about to revolutionize global financial finance all over again. The Bayonet Koir, the director of Innovation Hub at the Bank for International Settlements or BIS, said in an online interview that within Nikkei that the involvement of central banks in the digital economy will be essential because of the risk disruption. If digital payments are left to the private sector alone, central bank money as person has to be at the core of the system. Central bank, who is leading a BIS study of central bank digital currencies, also believes dollar under nose dominates in near future despite the rise of virtual currency. So these people actually they are thinking that maybe they will be able to come up with a digital version of dollar, and this way they are going to ensure that the dominance of dollar is prevalent all over the world. But according to my understanding, what I believe that since the cryptocurrency system is on the rise and the central bank they are also doing very good. But in near future, maybe there will be new type of digital currency. I mean, new type of central bank digital currency system or CBDCs in all over the world, as well as because of the rise of this the dominance of dollar will be somehow will the dominance of dollar will be gone will be gone, it is for sure. That's we can understand. So that means that there will be changes in the global financial system as well as global political system because of the changes in the monetary system as well. So this is actually all for me for the central bank digital currency system. Since the central bank digital currency system, it is actually a part of our lecture. So I try to make it easy actually because it's a quite new thing and still there are many things going on about this. So I try to put the most important aspect of central bank digital currency or CBDCs in this lecture. If you have any question now, I would like to open the floor for any question or discussion. Any question?
I'm fine for my end, Prof.
Okay, bro. Yes. Do you want to ask any question, brother? Harman?
No. I said I'm okay. Okay,
Okay,
maybe
okay.
it's only to give maybe a perspective from the Kenyan point of view.
Yeah, yes, sure, sure.
Yes, actually, the Central Bank of Kenya has been really skeptical about the digital currency.
Okay.
And I don't know how long it will take for the developing countries to at least start embracing the digital currency, because they're really skeptical about it. As much as the other countries are adopting it,
Yes, yes.
I think the developing countries, they take that strategy of wait and see so that they adopt it later. Maybe that's the perspective from the Kenyan point of view.
Uh, Actually, bro, in this case, it is true. But actually, for the digital currency system or the central bank digital currency system, actually, in this case, we can tell that the Asian countries in the Asian region, they are actually marching forward, and they are the pioneers actually in this case. So, I mean, other countries like if we want to see or look at a developed country like USA, they are still not considering any digital version for their dollar, but UK, Germany, they are already considering, and some other countries as well. So this basically means that I mean, whoever is going to make a good move in this the central bank digital currency system, of course, fast fast mover advantage in this case. So the rule of fast mover advantage in this case it applies here. So in this case,
Okay.
what I understand that maybe the dominance of dollar will be it. I mean, it will not be gone for full for sure, but maybe the dominance of dollar will be will be gone for some sort of dominance will be gone for the dollar, because people when they are going to use the money, one thing they are going to consider, this is the history of money. So according to the history of money, the why the barter system failed. Barter system failed. The people actually they don't like it. And after the barter system, there comes the system to use different types of metals to exchange the things. So this metal system also, because of some disadvantages, the people dislike it and they come up to new things. And after this, there was the paper-based system, and the paper-based system. Before paper-based system, there was gold-based system, and the gold-based was gone, and then we have the paper-based system again. And now there is a turning point because of COVID-19 and all this economy around the world. They are actually trying to do different types of things. And China, as a country, actually, they are expanding its wings. So previously, it was actually USA who are actually trying to control the world monetary system as well as the political system. But nowadays, China is also trying to expand its territory, and they are going to do it by using, of course, investment, because China they have a lot of money. So what they are doing, that they are actually investing money for other countries. They are investing money in other countries so that they can actually make some profit or make some benefit out of helping them actually. But USA, because of this rule, if we see here, so USA previously it was also the system for USA, but for the last few years, because of quite a lot of I mean struggles and arguments as well, a war with different countries, they actually lose their focus. So as they lose their focus, other countries they are actually trying hard and soul to get that position. In this case, I think that maybe if the thing of central bank digital currency system it becomes viral, then USA might lose its position of being the financial hub, or the dollar might lose its attention that it is getting now. So there is a tendency for that. And as per the developing countries is concerned, I just now you told about Kenya, and actually same is true for Bangladesh. But one thing is notable in this case, because the subject that we are studying here and that we have studied in this case, fintech. So it is a quite new subject for many people around the world. Even the people who are doing PhD in finance or economics, or who are even teaching at the university, they are not actually accustomed with this type of, and and, I mean it is not I mean it will be it's not bad to say that even a couple of months back, actually I was not that much I mean knowledgeable about the central bank digital currency system. But after that, when I have started and I have read a lot of things, then I come to deduct that this is the future. In the future, actually, the cryptocurrency that will be gone, and or even if they survive, their interest will be much lower or the influence will be much lower. So central bank digital card system will hold the much future in this case. So as per you can see in my last slide also today, I have discussed that the director for the Bank for International Settlements or BIS, he also told the same thing. So central bank digital card system, it is the future. And I think the countries who are not still adopting it or are not trying to make something so that they can adopt the system, they are actually doing a lot of mistake and they are going to pay for it in the long run, sadly. Because when the whole country and when the majority of the countries is going to transform their system, they are still considering the old system. In this case, there will be a confusion and they might not be able to contribute a lot because now it is a very good turning point to introduce the central bank digital card system. If they start later, then maybe it will not be in a good position in this case. And one thing that I can understand from my country or Bangladesh perspective, that in Bangladesh the people actually they don't I mean even those people who are in the central banks or other things, they are not that much I mean knowledgeable, or even they are not that much experienced or interested in those type of things. Because when you are going to introduce this type of new system, you need the people with new kind of thinking, a new kind of education. But there you can see that the developing countries and third world countries, they have their own problems. The major problem is that those countries actually, they usually have the old people. They are actually quite old. They might graduated maybe 30, 40 years or even 20, 25 years back. So back then it was only finance and economics. There was no digital finance, there was no fintech or something. So they don't know actually these things very clear. But luckily, we are living currently in an age which is the age of data science, the artificial intelligence, blockchain, smart contract, machine learning, and all this stuff. So we are actually in a very good position to learn about this and to contribute something about this. So in my lecture also, this is why I actually introduced this chapter, which is Central Bank Digital Currency System or CBDCs. And there is also another module that I'm going to discuss in the next class, which is also quite new. I mean, just beginning of this year, it has started to get some attention, which is NFT or non-fungible tokens. So these are actually the most popular as well as the most recent, I can tell it as the most recent and highly talked topics in the world of fintech now. That's all for my case, brother. Okay, Imtiaz, do you have any question?
No question.
No question. Okay. Brother Herman, do you have any question, brother? Brother Herman. Brother?
Sorry, I lost you at a point. No, I'm okay.
Okay. So brother, I mean, I just told so many things. So maybe you can get some.
Fair enough. Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So that's all for me. If we don't have any question, then maybe we can actually finish our today's lecture. And next lecture, actually, we have the last class for our lecture. Next class, we'll be discussing about NFT, non-fungible token, and smart contracts. That will be our last lecture next week.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicholas. So I'm going to finish our lecture for today. Thank you all. Take care. And I'm going to actually give, if I find some good articles about the central bank digital card system or anything, then I'm going to share with you, because the Facebook, WhatsApp group we have, so it will be open. So anytime if I find anything interesting, then I'm going to share all of you. So this will be lifetime, no worry, as long as I'm using my phone. So thank you all. See you next week.